Welcome to the fourth installment of my Fashion Friday series, where I intend to share with you for 5 consecutive Fridays some type of fashion related post. It might be a video, it might be photos, and if I'm feeling spicy, it might be both. So welcome on in. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I wrapped the scarves in the previous Fashion Friday video. So in that video, I wore 5 different scarves. The first 3 were one style, and the last 2 were a different style. So you're going to get 2 scarf styles in this video. We are going to start with the style that I'm wearing right now. This one I call the Rapunzel. It is the style of the last 2 scarves in the previous video, and those looked like this and this. Now for the Rapunzel style, you will need an undercap. I strongly suggest an undercap that is completely closed. Okay, no opening at the back, and I'm going to show you why. So I have 2 options here that I would use for something like this. This one has a net at the back, but it's still completely closed. And you might need a no snag hijab pin. Possibly. It depends on what you want to do. This is a scarf style. There is creativity allowed. So I'm just suggesting and telling you the things that I use. You'll also need a magnet. You'll definitely need a magnet. This style is really good for fabrics like chiffon, modal, fabrics that are really delicate that you don't want to put a hole in. So magnets and fashion tape definitely come in handy for that. I have 3 pieces of fashion tape that I might be using. I might just use one. If you don't have fashion tape, I do have some available in my boutique, or you can use double-sided tape, whatever saves you a coin, girl. Now on to the tutorial. So we're starting off with a really nice base for this scarf. It's really important that your hair and your neck are covered before you put on the scarf, because if you're using a scarf like I'm using, it's very thin, very see-through, very lightweight. And if you don't want your hair revealed, then it's going to be very important to follow these steps. So you're going to go ahead and put on your undercap, and the undercap that I have on here is the exact same as this one, just a different color. It's closed in at the back, okay, and I just tied it. And then I use this no snag pin. And I am wearing a turtleneck, as you can see. This is a very lightweight turtleneck. And I took the back of the turtleneck, pulled it up, and I pinned it to the undercap. So again, it gives me a really nice base, and I already have coverage. So even if my scarf is thin, then I don't have to worry about things being revealed that I don't want to be revealed. First thing we're going to do is see how long we want it at the front. And if you want to wear yours exactly like mine, I am looking in the mirror here. If you want to wear yours exactly like mine, then I always make sure I have enough length in the front to cover my entire bosom. So I kind of just play around with it a little bit. And sometimes I want like this perfect V shape going right down the middle of my body, and sometimes I have it set off to the side. So that's up to you. Again, lots of room for creativity here. So once I get this where I like it, then I'm going to take this in, not necessarily the corner, but just maybe about here. And if you do this style, you can play around with it. You'll find what you like to do to achieve the end result. And so I just take about right here, and I'm going right onto my turtleneck. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab my magnet, and this is where I'm going to secure the short side of the scarf. All right, so I have my magnet here, and I'm just going in and put one part of the magnet and hold that, and then I have the other part here, and voila. Okay, so that part is all set, and then this is it, y'all. This is so simple, so simple. So now you're gonna grab your long end. Make sure you have it as long as you want. Remember, we're going for Rapunzel, okay? And then what you can do, if you want to show a part of your earring, like I sometimes do, you can do this, and then you just take this part. What I'm gonna do is, it's gonna be hard to show this, but I'll explain. I'm going to temporarily lift up the top half of that magnet. I'm gonna lay my scarf down and then pop the magnet back on, okay? And if you have a magnet that you don't mind showing, then this is perfectly fine, okay? Some of the magnets are sparkly. You might have a magnet that is the exact same color as your scarf. So if you don't mind your magnet showing, you're done. Like, this is it. That's it, okay? It's very secure because, again, you have your base. Your base is really important, and now you know why. Because if you don't have anything under here, your hair is going to show. If the wind blows, things are going to lift up. So you want to make sure your base is very secure. So that's that. One thing that's really good about this style also is that you can cover your shoulders if you choose to do so. You can bring this in the front and wrap it in the bend of your arm, and that's a slightly different style. But whenever I wear it, I usually do this. And if you have this issue, I'm glad that this just happened. If this corner comes out, you can have a second magnet, and you would just secure that corner. Or what I'm going to do right now is secure the corner kind of into the top of my turtleneck. Voila. Okay, so there you have it, girls. You're all set. This is a little uneven here, so you can just pull that like so. and you're good to go. Now, if you don't like it this way with the magnet showing, you can also grab a piece of fashion tape. What I would say is use your magnet temporarily to hold that in place, and then we're going to grab our fashion tape, and I'm going to slightly lift. I'm going to place my fashion tape right onto that undercap. Okay, so I have the end secured. Take the paper off, we don't need that. And then you just want to lay your scarf down really, really smoothly. And once you have that, then you can just leave the magnet for the short side, and then the long side will just kind of flow very freely. And people wonder, oh my goodness, how is the scarf staying? Why is it not falling over her head? Girl, because I taped it to the undercap. All right, so there we go. And that is that for the Rapunzel. Right, on to the second scarf style. We're going to call this one Gym Girlie, the Gym Girlie. Although it's very, very versatile. You can wear it with different types of fabric. I always wear it with jersey, but you can use whatever type of fabric you want. It will work. You can dress it up, dress it down. So you don't need the base. I have the base on because I'm on camera. Usually when I wear this, I don't even have on an undercap because Jersey is just that girl. She's so amazing that she clings to my hair. She doesn't really need an undercap. And I don't usually wear it with a turtleneck. You can wear this with nothing underneath as long as your jersey is nice quality jersey and no one will be able to see through it. And we start off the same way as the Rapunzel, but the way we end is going to slightly differ. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and see how much I need to make sure I have full chest coverage. Okay, so there we go. So now with this, you can put a magnet at the back if you just want it to be very, very secure, but you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and put a magnet because I do like for it to be secure. And usually when I go to the gym or Taekwondo class, I usually have a magnet because, you know, there's a lot of movement and I don't want it to slip around too much. So we have that. And then you're going to bring that baby around. Now the trick to this is in the flick of the wrist, girl, okay? When you are working on yours, you will find your own flick. And that's what's going to make your scarf. I'm going to show you. So we take this part, you're going to hold it securely, and then this holds that in place, okay? Oh, we got a little oil from my hair, but that's fine. Okay, now here's the flick. Watch carefully now. Watch. This is it. Girl, you saw, oh, wait a minute. You missed it. You missed it. You blinked. You blinked. Okay, hold on. Let me do it again, girl. Let me do it again. All right, so you want it right here. Flick it, girl. You see that? You saw that? You caught it. You caught it. Okay. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over. Y'all, I promise I'm not sweaty. This is my natural deodorant, and it just got onto my shirt. I told y'all this is a very thin, very lightweight turtleneck, so that's what you're seeing under my arm. I am not sweating. All right, so here we go. Now once you get to this point, you can go ahead and pin it, or you can use a piece of fashion tape. Let's say you're going to a wedding or somewhere fancy. I suggest fashion tape. It's just going to make it more smooth, but when I work out, I usually use a pin, just a regular pin like this. And I usually hide it. Let me show you how I hide it. So I come underneath this layer here, and I do this little, I hope you're able to see that. I do this little in-out type of thing. I go in from the bottom, and then I grab the top layer, then I grab the top layer, and then I go back in. And then I take this, and I cover the end of the pin. So when people see it, they're like, oh, how is it staying? Girl, I hit the pin, that's how. Or like I said, use fashion tape. And that is it. This is the Gym Girlie, okay? Very, very nice because it gives you coverage. And just like the first style, you can alter it slightly to give yourself shoulder coverage if that is what you prefer. You can also bring this around. Let's say you don't have a pin, you don't have fashion tape, you can just do this. Okay, you can also do the exact same thing without a magnet, right? Because jersey clings to itself. So the long piece is holding the shorter piece and then you're just wrapping around and you're tucking. So this is a look as well, but whenever I wear jersey, I usually wear it like this. I have a couple other styles that I might flip through, but this is the one that you might see me in more often until I get tired of it. All right, so there are your two scarf styles. I hope you ladies enjoyed. And don't worry, I did not forget that in the last Fashion Friday, I told you that I would show you the update on the pants. I am working on that, but I purposefully did not give a set amount of days because I didn't know how long that process would take. That video will be up on YouTube, and when it's up on YouTube, I will post here in my stories letting you know that it's there, so you can go check it out and you'll be able to see the results of those pants. All right, ladies, so thank you for sticking with me. We have one more Fashion Friday after this one, so make sure you tune in next week to see what my last Fashion Friday will contain. And y'all, I have got to run. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm a bit low on energy today. Alhamdulillah, I am fasting and we are right at the time for iftar. So I gotta go, girl. See you next time. Bye.